Let me tell you, this is so interesting. We're just talking about our industry. There's an old blues man named Buddy Guy. Is he coming around? I guess he is.
Played last night. Performing Arts Center in Greensboro.
Did you see him?
I did not. I was lucky enough to see him maybe 10 years ago, 9 years ago. In fact, I'm pretty sure I got to welcome the crowd.
There it is.
To that show.
How he's been on the road.
Oh my gosh,
70 years. I mean, he's
he's
probably 85 years old, right?
I believe this was called like the farewell tour, but I don't know if it really,
Right.
Yeah.
The blues men, they just play until they can't.
This is our business. Yeah. Okay. Here's what radio folks. Here's what we do. A couple of examples. Chris Demm got to introduce him 10 years ago.
Yeah, and the people at the this was at the different theater, but they brought me backstage to meet Buddy Guys. Like this is. First, second generation blues man, an American legend.
And Chris Demm is really appreciative of that kind of thing.
Very much so.
I think I got to introduce, I want to say Muddy Waters. Is that possible?
Impossible.
No way.
Literally, physically impossible.
Okay. We had a blues festival, probably 15 years ago. Chris Demm couldn't go. And they asked me to introduce.
That's right.
It was somebody big. It was a big name, and I don't appreciate it like he does.
Yeah.
Obviously, I just said I introduced Muddy Waters. Physically impossible. Our timelines don't add up.
Yeah.
We don't. I don't know. I thought You could have said Muddy Waters played last night,
and you would have thought, cool,
great. Did you introduce him?
Did I meet him?
That's what I would have said. Okay, he appreciates.
So
Buddy
10
Guy.
years ago, I get to meet Buddy backstage, and the people at the theater were like, he's works at one of the radio stations, and he's gonna bring you out, and he's like, cool.
Yeah,
could not have been nicer. Took a picture, said hello to my wife. I got a picture with Buddy Guy.
Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I come out and say a few things to the crowd. Very appreciative blues crowd. They love live blues. There's nothing like it.
Yes.
And then Buddy comes out, and he's like, after he plays a song, he said, I was talking to a DJ once, not long ago, and he said that he don't play my music on the radio.
All right. Crowd blues. That's Chris Demm he's talking about. So you get set up like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Buddy Guy said, do you play blues? And Chris Demm probably said, no, we play
we're a different format.
like classic rock or whatever. And then Chris Demm comes out. 5 minutes later, Buddy Guy said, he don't play no blues.
I was shrinking in my seat.
Listen, I can't tell you how many times I've been there.
Yeah.
This man right here, Biggie, who would later be a trusted friend and colleague, once booed me without knowing. Without knowing. Through things.
Yeah, you never know
you
when
don't
paths
know.
will cross.
You don't know. It happens that way.
Yeah.
It's like today, this is radio for you. Chris Demm, this says a lot about me, I guess. Chris Demm had seen an article about a radio DJ who died. It's a tragic story. He was found in the San Francisco Bay. He was found recently. I mean, like a couple of days ago. He's found in the San Francisco Bay. So Chris Demm says, do you know so-and-so from Wild 94, which is a big radio station in San Francisco? I said, well, I've heard it. And he said, well, he's tragically found in San Francisco Bay. And I had just seen the story myself online. Chris Demm was reading all the particulars. I said, I saw the headline, DJ dies, and didn't click it. And Chris Demm said, that really says a lot about you, doesn't it? That's one of our guys.
Yeah.
That's one of ours in our industry.
It truly sounds like a nightmare scenario.
Of course
His wife happens to work for the same radio station, and she wrote that he's been in pain for 2 years. It's just a heartbreaking story.
It's a suicide, we think. It's awful.
I mean, if you had to guess.
Awful. But of course, I see that intriguing headline and go next and move on, and that's one of
DJ in San Francisco Bay, and you don't click the link.
DJ in San Fran. It said
fished out of the bay.
It said radio personality found in San Francisco Bay dead. I say, what's on TV tonight? What's the
what's the point spread?
What's the point?
Who's Drew Barrymore's guest?
Right? Is it National Ice Cream Day?
Yeah.
What is it? That's what I'm looking for. And Chris Demm says, "Oh my God, did you?
We've lost one of our own."
And you like wake me up. And then listen to this. This is similar also in our business. Chris Demm goes over today's teases. We have the Demm report. You familiar?
Yes.
We have a Demm report later today, and in it, Chris Demm says he got an email from an ER doctor that says I am very likely to die in my car. And I say, huh? What? That's one of the now my interest is piqued because he thinks I'll die in my car. So now I'm like, why? What is it? I mean, I eat in my car a lot. I sit alone in my car a lot when it's parked. the other night.
I have a theory.
Save it.
Save it. Write it down, Biggie.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, write it down.
You should be here for this now. In that Demm report, an ER doctor says when they find me, it won't be
fish you.
It won't be in the San Francisco Bay. It'll be very unlikely if I'm in the San Francisco Bay. I'll be fished out of my car somewhere, and I don't know why. I'll tell you this though. You know my car leaks oil. You're familiar.
I am.
You've seen my car leaks oil in the park.
I've seen your parking space when it's empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like that for a long time. People would say your parking space looks like the La Brea tar pits.
It looks like the Gulf of Mexico after that BP thing broke in the Gulf.
But I just thought, nah, every car leaks oil. It's not just mine. But I do see it now. When I pull out, there's a huge... And now I know. I mean, I was told by a mechanic, your car is leaking oil like a sieve, and there's nothing we can do. This has been 8 or 9 years now.
There is one thing you can do. You can old yeller it.
You have to, I'm not going to do that.
No, he never will.
I'll never put it
But
back.
once again, you being you, I love how it was everyone else's deal.
It was. And
Your car's the one leaking oil, and you're like, what's your problem?
I rejected it. I rejected it entirely.
Cars leak oil. There's no other spots like it in the entire parking lot.
True. So... now I carry oil with me, and I don't know if this has to do with the ER doctor's email. I'm interested in that because on the way back, Chris Demm and I hosted a St. Patrick's Day thing a week ago, and on the way back, it was in heavy rain, my oil light came on, and I'd pulled over to Bojangles.
You thirsty, girl? Need a little something to make it home?
I couldn't get the oil cap off. That's how weak I could. My little fingers could not get the oil cap off. So there I was with a bunch of oil. I got home and twisted it off with some pliers and poured in oil. So you don't know this part of it. The next day, now I'm full of oil. Okay, and when it's full, it really leaks because it's brand new oil coursing through there. So the next day, I played pickleball with the Diesel, my partner, and we happened to pull into the parking space of the park where we were playing at the same time. And I get out of the car. Well, there's a big time smoky smell, because oil is leaking onto the hot inner workings of the car. And Diesel gets out and he says, "Your car is really smoking." And I looked at it and it was just billowing out from underneath. And I said, "No big deal. Don't worry about it."
Car smoke.
She's digesting.
That's right, yeah. And I said, like you, I said, well, car smoke. What do you want? Yeah, what do you want me to say about it? And he says, "Are you sure that's safe sitting here?" And I said, yeah, it's fine.
Why wouldn't it be?
I said, "What are you talking about?" I said,
Let's go, serve.
I said, "I just put oil in it yesterday." And he said, "But still, should it be smoking?" He said, "I think there's something wrong with the engine of your car." No, it's just oil because it's fresh. It's coursing through there. So we start, loosening up and stretching each other and stuff. And he looks over at it and he said, "You're still just pouring smoke." And from an insurance standpoint, because he's an insurance man, I can't allow that to be that near to my car. And he moves his car to the other side of the parking lot. We park
I don't
beside
blame him. Just in case it blows up.
Yeah.
Well, and also just the nose of it had gone over like a median where there was fresh pine straw. And he said, that's an engine fire waiting to happen. You have to. And I said, "Nah, man, don't worry about it." Once again, totally rejecting. It really was smoking.
Rejecting all logic.
Yeah, and that's just what we do.
And the car was off, smoking.
Oh, yeah, it was off.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
It's because the oil drips onto the hot engine because it's leaking so badly, especially when I first put it in, and I really billow smoke.
It's time, Billy.
It may be. That may be that I'm in a car fire at some point.
Maybe. That may be the ER doctor's problem.
That might be.
That might be the thing.
Could be.
I'm really wondering about
You'll finally be on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm really.
Because everybody driving by will be like, "Damn! Car fire, I-40. Look at this dude.
That thing's smoking.
I know.
That's the guy with the boner TV commercial.
Oh, you know what you'll be? The latest thing is when somebody goes by and sees a car on fire or a wreck or something, you have to roll down your window and go, "You can't park there."
Is that what people say?
Oh yeah, there's all kind of videos on online if you find them. It's people have been in wrecks and they're just leaning up against something, waiting for the tow truck, and you got to roll down their window and be like, "Can't park there." And of course the reactions are like, "F you."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I love that.
It's possible that I'm going to be off of the side of some major highway with a car on fire, running away from it. That might be what the ER
Could
doctor.
be.
I don't know. I'm really interested in seeing what he has to say.